Here we are again. The 2007 Mazda 6 with the 2.3 liter four-cylinder engine, no turbo. Just did the power steering pump. This project is going to be the sensor in the front seat for the airbag system. What happened was there was a supplemental restraint system light. I ran the code, and what I had was a C as in Charlie 1981 code, and it says that the seat position sensor is not operating properly. And what that does is it determines the distance from the seat to the airbag in the steering wheel. $18 part, got it from Mazda. I'm going to replace it. So let me show you what we have here. Now you're dealing with airbags, so you have to know what you're doing. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Technically they say take the negative terminal off for at least 1 minute before you operate on this. I take that off for a minute, then I take off the positive. I want to make sure there's no power coming to this thing whatsoever. It does have side restraints, supplemental restraint system on the side with the airbags over here in the seat. But I'm going to hook it back up to move the seat. You've got to make sure the seat position is just right, because when you lift the seat out, which you have to take the seat out, it's way over here on this side. So there are the 4 bolts for the seat and 2 connections underneath, and I'll have to show you that once I get underneath the seat. But what I did is I moved the seat upright and I moved it as far forward as possible, because you have to remove these trim pieces. And let me show you these trim pieces. So this is the one on the driver's side right. Now take a look at the clips. So it's going to be this way. If you look at the clips and how to remove this, you're going to have to peel this back towards you and then push it this way. But you see that clip there? Those things are really stuck in there. So what I had to do was take some WD-40, spray this on there, and then I got behind it and I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and it finally popped out. So remember, you've got to pop this side towards you, then wedge that out that way. Now here's the other side. It's a little bit different. It's the rear. Okay. It's going to be sitting this way. Notice that clip. You have to push this toward the outside of the car, lift up, forward, and then there's that clip, WD-40, and I took a screwdriver and pushed it this way. So again, lift up on the front edge, push this way. Now, one is missing on the front seat. One over there on the right side. I'm sure it's pretty much the same. Here's the left side. 2 clips. So you just have to get in there and pry this way. All right, let's see. Oh, Wordy-Dird rating. I'm going to give this a 2. So let's see what happens by the time I'm done. Now, I've gone ahead and I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the bolts in the front, I believe. I'm going to move it all the way back. I'm going to loosen up the bolts in the front, which are here. Right there. And way over there. But of course, I'm going to have the battery disconnected. Can you see it? There we go. And I'll tell you what size bolt this is. Maybe a 12 or 13. But I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery, loosen those up. Come back, reconnect the battery, move the seat forward. All right, let's go upside down. Here's the 2 connectors. Let's go with the yellow one first. That's the SRS system. That's the airbag. Now, it's kind of an interesting way they did this little clip. It's spring-loaded. So this is in its normal position, but in order to get it out, let me turn it upside down. It's spring-loaded, and I had to take a screwdriver push that way. You can see the spring is in there. Remember, this is upside down, but I had to push and put my screwdriver up into there and delicately pull. All right, the other one, the white one, can't mix them up, is connected that way, and it has, look at the bottom here, a push tab right there where my thumb is, and I had to push that down and pull it out. So now I can take the seat and tilt it back. And here's the prize. I'm working from the passenger side. Right there. Now, notice there's only one mounting bolt back here. It's an 8mm. It took an 8 short to get in there. Unless I pull the seat up some more. There are different models that this particular sensor will work on, and depending on which automobile, this sensor may have 2 mounting places. This only has 1, and that's, like I say, a little 8mm there. So I'm going to remove that. It's in and connected. Again, you only tighten it till it's firm. It's plastic. So now I'm going to put the seat back in. Alright, so I have put the bolts back in the front. Torque spec is 27 to 39 foot-pounds. I just went with 35. 27 just didn't seem tight enough as compared to when I removed it. So I went with 35. So those 2 bolts there and the one over here have torqued. I've reconnected my 2 lines up under there. Now I'm going to hook the battery up, move the seat as far forward as I can, unhook it again, and then put those last 2 bolts in. So I am done. Now I probably have a check engine light because I messed with so many things, so I'm going to clear the codes, but I do have to clear that C1981 code. And I'm going to take her for the test drive. But I believe I have everything back together. Always double check, make sure your tools are on your tool bench and not in the engine compartment. So I'm going to clear that code, drive it a little bit, and test 2 things. The power steering pump that I did, and whether or not this code comes back. Thanks for being here. And as I always say, I'll fix your car, but it won't go far.